I'm enjoying a slow sunset in the Argentina Route 40. It feels like a prairie here. It's you're not gonna see what I see. You have to come here. It's super nice. Argentina has so far been, at least in my experience, the most friendly and nicest country of the four I've visited. It's normal that at least two cars pull over and they offer you a ride or water or food or just want to know how you're doing, if you're okay. They're super friendly, and I'm not even talking about like the countless cars. At least every other car beeps and waves. It's been a pleasantly surprise. I was always not really in favor of Argentina when it was going down to football, but maybe after a couple of months here I'm going to change my mind. This noise is actually from insects. It's not like an alarm system or anything. As you might can see, it's now 49 degrees and it starts to get really too hot for cycling. I have luckily like 6 kilometers to go, but I can feel my body doesn't like it. I think that the temperature there shown is a little bit exaggerated, but the forecast was 41 to 44, and this is a bit this is a bit too much. So 5-6 kilometers and then it's done. Tomorrow it's gonna be another day like this, so wish me luck. It is actually so pretty and so nice here in Patagonia as I go further south, that I sometimes feel that even a bicycle is going too fast for this to appreciate the landscape. I'm slowing down quite a bit. Or a bridge without a name. What name shall we give it? So about 2 days ago my bike broke. Like the back gear shifting broke off the frame. It's not completely impossible to repair, but I can do it myself. So I found a little workshop that is specialized in metal in this beautiful area. Look at the mountains and everything. And He told me to come back tomorrow with the bike. I have to find a hitchhiking, and then it will probably take him a day in between jobs, he told me, to fix it. And I can stay here for the night. He has a place for me, very helpful. So hopefully back on the road the day after tomorrow. Keep you tuned. This vast landscape, and also the sign behind me with like the distances to give you kind of an idea of the distances between the cities. I remember like in 2001 I cycled from here to Turkey. After that in South Asia for a few months. And, this Japanese guy who cycled from Japan and I met him in Romania gave me a piece of paper with all the restaurants and water stops in Iran. Now I just use an app, in this case iOverlander, and in this case I know that in 5 kilometers there's a nice hotel popping up. Yeah, like 20 years ago. Hey, well, as abruptly as that video ended, that's also the way that both physically and mentally my trip ended. It was already a little bit in the pipeline, so to say, that my mom wasn't doing very well, and yeah, things got into a dire situation, and I had to rush home. I was all the way in the south of Patagonia, so it took me 2 days of hitchhiking, and at some point I took a flight. I already started to get a little bit sick. I was heading for Buenos Aires. I thought maybe if things are getting a little bit better, I can at least stay in Buenos Aires and see how things develop with my mom. But as soon as I got out of the plane, my sister said, look, there is no way. Yeah, it was hard, but she was not going to make it for another couple of days, so I had to be on the first flight. So I got my insurance, but I got really sick, actually, like 41 degrees Celsius body temperature. So it took me like another night to feel at least somewhat physically and mentally capable of being on a flight for 12 hours. So I got home, and the trip ended. I was like 500 kilometers away from Wushaya. That's like the very south. That was technically the end of the trip. So I was close, but yeah, goes without saying that this was way more important to do. When I got back, I was sick as a dog, having to organize my mom's funeral. My sister did most of the work. I was just not feeling into it in all sorts of ways. I remember I got off the plane, got into my house, no internet, completely dark here in Amsterdam, cold as hell. And I don't know, hell was probably warm, so it was probably cold as the North Pole, or cold as Amsterdam. And yeah, so after the funeral, it took me, I would say, a couple of months to get into, I don't know, myself. Did a lot of fishing. I did think about going for a bike trip again, to go to Mongolia, then to China. But slowly I realized, look, I'm not going to go cycling across the freaking desert. And go over the high Himalaya, actually, that's from China and Nepal. So I decided to stay home and get into a little bit of a normal routine, go back up to the gym, build up my strength, my I would say physical strength. Kept cycling quite a bit because I was so into cycling, so like rides of 4, 5, 6 hours were no problem at all. But it slowly started, something was boiling up. This is something I have my whole life, and I thought I need to go back on traveling on the road. But the idea of, like, especially when I was in Atacama Desert, to drive, to cycle across these endless roads for like weeks and weeks, with no energy left once you get into a little village or town to socialize with people that you met. I was just tired, eating, sleeping. I thought that's not the way I want to enjoy traveling at the moment. And I did bump into some guys that were on a motorcycle. So they planted this idea to look into a motorcycle. I did for a brief moment looked into to go by car, but it looked like there was a lot more hustle. And if I think about a motorcycle, I think, or at least it feels like the same kind of like, how do you say that? Like freedom, adventure feeling on a bicycle. It's that without the suffering. That being said, some people said to me that a motorcycle is very tough, very tiring, sitting on the saddle the whole day. But I do want to make a little comment on that because if you have not been exposed to suffering as much as I have, and I have like a background in cycling a lot, and I suffered so much that I cannot even imagine doing that anymore. The age is creeping in a little bit in this respect. So I think that I will be fine on a motorcycle, even 5-6 hours rides. It can never be as tired going up 5-6,000 meters high climbs for days and days with barely any food. Motorcycle, there's a way longer distances that you can do in a day, which gives you the possibility to stock up more food, to bring more food. It's just all around. It seems like to me something that fits to me at this moment. The things that I want to do. However, that is going to be the same philosophy. So I'm still going to go like adventure mode. It's going to be off-road or off-road gravel roads as much as I can and as I feel comfortable with. I'm not new to motorcycles, but I did get my license only like a year ago. So it's going to be interesting. Got myself a motorcycle. It's going to be camping in a tent. It's going to be across massive mountains. So to give you an outline of the route I'm going to take, I'm going to drive all the way down to the Balkan countries, so Slovenia, Bosnia, Montenegro, across Germany. It looks like next week the weather is going to, or this week actually, fuck, I'm leaving already almost. The weather seems to be quite nice, so that means that I'm going to take it slowly. I'm not going to rush anything. It's going to be like 4 hours a day. It's going to be a lot of days in between that I will take rest, and I hope that I have more energy comparing to cycling so that I can enjoy like hikes and go fishing and go socialize with other people that I meet along the road and around hostels and other overlanders. So anyways, Balkan country, Albania, which is also the Balkan, then Greece, Turkey, and then I was initially planning to go to Iran, but as political situations have developed recently, I'm gonna go across Georgia into Russia. I got my Russian visa already for half a year, so that country is massive, so half a year gives me a lot of flexibility in regards of changing the route. Anyway, so in Russia, I'm going to go to Kazakhstan, I'm going to go to Uzbekistan, I'm going to go to Tajikistan, I'm going to go to Kyrgyzstan, I'm going to go back into Russia again, I'm going to go into Mongolia. And once I'm in Mongolia, I have to see how the landscape in regards of political issues around the world are developing. There's two ways then, or three ways actually. If Iran is somehow getting back into a peaceful situation, I'm probably going to go from Mongolia, across China, into Kazakhstan again, go into Afghanistan, into Iran, ideally into Oman, into Saudi Arabia, into Iraq, back into Turkey, and then all the way home. That will take me 1 year. The other possibility is that I go into China, go across Nepal, across Tibet, across the Himalaya, into India. Once I'm in India, I need to somehow get out of India because Pakistan border is closed and Myanmar apparently. The third option, there's even a fourth option. The third option is that I go to China, let me think, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, and then even if I feel like it somehow, again, this is going to be, I don't know, I make my mind up somewhere along the road. At some point there's like a thought popping up in my mind, think, okay, yeah, let's do this. So it can also be going to Australia. If I am in Thailand, for example, I face the same restrictions. Probably Myanmar, border is closed. And I'm stuck there. Even if I get into Myanmar, I'm going to go into India, and the Pakistanis are always, for God knows how long, in a fight with the Indians. So it's going to be stuck there anyways. So I have to see how that goes. Yeah, that's the outline of the route and my philosophy behind it. I'm leaving. It's today. It's Monday. I don't know when I upload this video because it's going to be on the end of my last trip video to give you a little introduction into what to expect. Social media is not necessarily my priority. There's a lot of people out there make motorcycle videos that's basically their job. I have a job, and my job is in IT, and I am not planning to make this my job. But there is a lot of people out there that apparently, I don't know why, but like my travel adventures, and to keep and that I keep them posted. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, talk soon. I leave Thursday, so that's the 12th of March. First heading to Arnhem. It's only like a couple of hours in the little roads along the river. Next day, Düsseldorf. I'm going to visit a very good friend, stay there for 2 days, and then I'm going to go slowly, and then I will make some videos and posts. Okay, take care.